Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche pregame show presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code DNVR when we sign up for a new account to get amazing odds boosts every single day. Rudo and Blais coming at you live as the Avs take on the Capitals tonight, or, well, most of the Avs, yeah, as they will be sitting Devon Toews, Andrew Cogliano, and another person, I think, that I forget, or is it just the Kadri's still out?
Might be Kadri still.
Oh,
out.
and EJ. It's EJ.
Oh, they're just switching. Yep, the Johnson rotation.
Right, exactly. Keep your Johnsons on rotation, no doubt about it. So definitely nowhere near full strength for the Avs. For the record, they're all relatively fine. Devon Toews didn't go on the trip, but it was just a nagging injury. He's going to sit for the next 4 games, but he'll be back. Same kind of thing. Cogliano, a nagging injury. They're going to let him sit. It's the time in the season where the Avs say, if anything is bothering you, you're going to sit.
I mean, even Bednar said, look, if this was the playoffs, they would be playing right now, but
yeah,
why risk anything? Like, we've talked about this for a while now because the Avs record has just been so insane. It's like, so when do they just start resting people? We got the answer today.
Today is the day that it starts happening. On the other side, the Capitals do have a little bit to play for on their side. Seeding in the East, they could still chase down Pittsburgh pretty easily for the 3rd seed there. It is just seeding, though. Everyone in the East is clinched. Yeah.
You know that you're in the playoffs now. It's just where are you going to fall?
Yeah, exactly that. So we'll see exactly how hard these teams come out. Yeah,
that is an interesting thing, right? Because like Washington, it just really depends now on like where you want that matchup to be. Who do you want to go against in the first round?
Yep. Well, and the interesting part there is Carolina and New York are tied at the top of that other division, so you don't even really know which seed you want depending on who you want to play. It's kind of a bloodbath at the moment. So we'll see how that goes.
A little rolling of the dice as well.
Yeah. Just kind of pick a seed and hope for the best, kind of, on that front. Looking around the NHL, though, a couple of other important games tonight. Golden Knights taking on the Devils. You would expect the Golden Knights to win that one, but
you never know.
We'll see. And then the Stars taking on the Canucks, which at this point, it feels like the Stars should be pretty well in clear of Vegas, but
yeah,
we'll see.
They're right there, man. I was just looking at it too, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, LA with 90 points in the 3rd in the Pacific.
Yeah, that's LA's the one that's in real danger, I think. But
yeah. But I mean, Vegas still has a lot of ground to make up to get back.
It's on Vegas. They have to win hockey games to get themselves.
So like games like tonight, they have to win. This can't be like a whoopsie type of thing.
Agreed. It's fully on them to get it done, and then they still need help on top of that. But
yep.
We'll see how all of that goes. On the Avs front, with all the players out, that means 1, Darren Helm is in for Cogliano on the front side. And then 2, we will see Curtis McDermott come in on the defensive side for the Avs. Also going to continue to see Ben Myers. So.
Yeah, I like that. Sitting Toews, putting him in. That makes sense.
The level of talent is the same, basically.
I'm wondering, so is this like the Johnson rotation? Why wasn't it just like activate both the Johnsons? Is there something here that we're not reading into?
I mean, I think they're just resting EJ.
Or is it that Tom Wilson is on this team?
I mean, that's not nothing.
And they don't want any cheap shots going on because we know how Tom Wilson plays. He plays on that edge, right?
He definitely does. And
for one, I love the guy. I know a lot of people don't like that take.
I know.
But, man, he is skilled and he is mean. If he was on your team, you would love that guy.
I love the concept of Tom Wilson. I love that type of player.
Yeah.
I do think he steps over the line a little bit too often.
But with that type of player, you're always going to live with that.
Well,
you have to because that line is just there.
I live with walking the line and going across it sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't love I stepped 17 feet across it and continued going that direction.
You're more of a Johnny Cash type of guy. You're just walking on the line, not going over
you
it.
take a couple steps over, fine. But when you're running a marathon past the line, that's when you get into a little bit of trouble.
What did you think about his last little infraction with the goalie? Do you think that was a dirty play, or do you think that was just a bang-bang play where he's trying to get position?
Do I think it's suspendable? No.
Yeah.
Do I think he did it on purpose? Yeah, kind of.
I mean, he was just trying to get position. I totally get it. Like, it's a penalty.
Yeah.
I don't think it's suspendable. I don't think it was like he was going out to take the dude's head off.
Perfectly fine with a 2-minute penalty.
Yeah.
I think that's good enough on that. And in significant part because dude's 2 feet out of his crease.
Right.
Like,
with his
head
over. Yeah.
Tom Wilson never enters the crease on that entire play.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Yeah.
The history is very long there. And like, genuinely, I think it's worse. Wilson's probably a little bit worse. But if you look at the history of their careers, not far behind him is probably Kadri.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, true.
You got to be honest about it at very least when you look at the Avs players.
Well, but, I totally agree with that take. Tom Wilson's just a different size of a player, right?
He's large.
He's a big boy, so he can put some damage down. And not saying that Kadri can't put damage down, but I think it's more of just
Kadri's not ragdolling.
No, you would like both of them to kind of take the dirty hits, like the
right.
Oh, that is bad type of hits out.
I totally get it. Things happen.
Yep.
Understand. It's hockey. It's fast. I get it. When you go out of your way to do that stuff, sometimes it's like, man, just tone it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't Brad Marchand is a total pest. I get most of it. Don't be licking dudes. Like, it's not that hard to not lick people.
That dude has missed out on so much money that he doesn't care about. Just, with like getting sponsored by CCM and doing like all that stuff like you see with other top tier stars in the league.
Because he's unmarketable.
He's got that skill set, but you can't market him.
Yep. It's. I mean, I'm sure he doesn't care, but
no.
The same way.
If you look at the money he's made in his career, he does not care about it.
Same way Tom Wilson doesn't care.
True.
Rip out Panarin's hair again next time, I'm sure. But I don't know. That's definitely a weird area of the future of the game where you're seeing that side of the game start to happen less and less.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't have a great answer for where the balance point is.
Yeah.
I can't give you a good answer.
But you have players like McKinnon.
Sure.
Like, he plays that physical game. He gets angry. He does stuff that's walking that line.
Yeah.
I think that's what you're going to see in the future because it's that enforcer role is just going away.
Agreed.
It's the dodo bird of players.
And again, Mac throwing Connor Garland his own helmet is an iconic moment, right?
Yeah.
But it's hard to gauge because I'm the first person who'll come up and say it's stupid that the Department of Player Safety judges plays based on injury.
Yeah.
But Mac throwing the helmet at Garland didn't hurt him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It really is a tough one for me. I don't know where to fall on the balance point. And I think the reality is there's a whole lot of gray area.
Sure. But you still have new age players that are like that. Matthew Tkachuk is one of those guys
Definitely.
too. That I think that's what you're going to see more is just highly skilled
pests.
goons. I mean, I don't even know what you call them. But.
Yeah. All right. Skilled goon. Scoon?
Scoon?
Gould? I don't know. Chat, you're gonna have to help us out with that one. Come up with a name for that. Anyway, we're getting into the part of the season here where you're not going to see very many teams playing at full strength at this point. You even saw, I think it was St. Louis said, yeah, we're going to let all our guys heal up. With this point.
Well, and they've been on a heater. What are they, like 11-0-1 or something
I think
crazy?
It's like 9 straight wins, I think, or something like that. And they blew out Nashville in their last game. So
that wasn't even close. That was I went and watched the highlights of that game, and I was like, wow, that's a pickup game right there for the Blues.
Spiraled out of control pretty quickly. But that is maybe the only other curious team left in the West is Nashville that we haven't really talked about that much.
Yeah.
Just because Nashville's schedule is brutal down the stretch.
Yeah.
They get Calgary, they have Vancouver, they have Colorado. I think they have Tampa Bay as well, and then maybe Calgary again, and then Arizona. Arizona not as strong, but
Sure.
You're looking at Vegas' schedule, which is dirt cheap easy.
Yeah.
LA's schedule, which is pretty dang easy too. And you're going, Nashville.
Man, could it come down to that last game against Arizona?
Arizona gets to play spoiler. Ooh, that would be fun.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
I'm here for it because it's not the Avalanche. Who cares? Like, let's get them all down to the wire.
All I'm saying is if Nashville misses, Yossi can't win the Norris, right?
I mean, that's a hard case.
I'm saying. If he couldn't get his team to the playoffs from that position, they're in trouble at that point. So maybe the best scenario for the Avs is for Nashville to miss. That's all I'm throwing out there.
I mean, Kale, I just feel like what he's done recently as well is just adding to that case of he needs to win the Norris. Not discounting what Yossi's done, but like we've talked about it, like what's the context of those points that are being scored?
For sure.
And then on the other side, like hands down, you take Makar for the defensive prowess.
Yeah,
over
10
Yossi.
times out of 10.
Yeah. There's
It's
no world
not
where you're
close.
doing that.
It's not close.
And I think a lot of people forget that too, right? It's not just about what you're putting up in points for the Norris.
It's the best defenseman
Yeah.
in the league.
Defenseman shuts down his end of the ice and also adds value in the offensive zone.
Yep. And, obviously the Norris has always skewed pretty offensive.
Oh, 100%.
But wasn't like 30% of the argument that Adam Fox won it last year was because he PKs for New York. And it's
Yep.
like, well, Cale Makar's PK this year for the Avs.
Yep.
So what do you want?
And look damn good doing it.
I'm saying. So they had to get our Cale Makar love in there. He's not resting. He's in here going for 30 goals. I don't know if he gets
He's a young stud.
He's got the legs.
He just can't be in the stable all day.
Gotta run free.
Oh, he's got to run free.
Okay.
Not so as Oates, but just run free.
Well, look, the stories I hear about NHL players and Tinder, all right?
Oh, wow.
Anyway, ignoring that, looking at the other side of the playoffs, every team in the East, the top 8 have all made the playoffs.
Yep.
They're all set in the playoffs. There's no race
They all
as far
have
as that's
X's next to their
concerned.
names.
Yeah. But nothing else is really set except for Florida's going to win the East. It's
You
just
think?
going to happen.
Yeah.
And then they're going to lose in the first round to Tampa. It's fine. Tampa won't even be a wild card team. But
I feel like there's like something driving these comments.
what could it be?
I don't know.
Me either. But there is still a good amount of seeding to go here.
Yep.
We already mentioned Washington and Pittsburgh. You have the Isles could fall back into that conversation. Carolina could fall back into that conversation if things go a little bit sideways for them. So there is, especially in that division, very much still seeding to play for. We've talked all year about how the Avs really have not cared that much about the seeding. Do you think some of these Eastern teams do care a little bit more about that?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't really have a strong opinion about it.
Okay, fair enough. I'm on team don't care for
Yeah.
sure, but it's just so it's easy in the West, right? Because it's like, look, man, most of these teams aren't very good. You're not really worried about anybody. The matchups are whatever. You go. In the East, you're looking at every team 1 to 8, and you're like, oh boy,
Yeah.
all of these teams are good. All of these matchups matter.
So maybe inside of that seeding, like you're looking for that home ice advantage, like
Yeah.
any little thing that you can get because there is no easy matchup over there. So that might be driving teams to kind of push.
I think, yeah.
But that's about the only thing I can think of, just because like what you just talked about. Every team's good. There's no way that you can slide into a matchup where you're like, oh, sweet.
So does it almost come all the way around where it's like, you're going to have to play somebody.
Yeah.
You just kind of deal with it. I do think it's curious. We kind of already mentioned it in the West. All the teams are like, we're resting people.
Yeah.
Well, it's that time of the year. haven't really seen teams do that in the East yet. They've kind of kept rolling out their guns. How does it matter that much? Can someone in the East squeak out an advantage by resting guys, or do you think it doesn't really matter?
I mean, maybe for the first round, but that's going to be a bloodbath of that division over there.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to beat each other up before whoever comes out of the West.
Gonna get ugly quick for sure.
Is going to probably have the advantage.
Well,
just the way that they play the game.
Yeah, I agreed. Those teams are gonna beat each other up.
Heavy hitters.
Yep. You talk about, a lot of people are very happy that the Avs have kind of bulked up with guys like Manson, et cetera, this year. And you look at the teams out east, and it's like, oh god, these running all sorts of crazy dudes out there. Like you got Chara still rocking, but it hasn't worked out amazingly for Chara leaving Boston. But I do think the East, and this has been probably true for most of my life. I think it's probably less true now. When I was a kid, it was the West is the skill conference, the East is the grind conference. But I think there still are lingering things like that in the league, and you end up with a little bit more of that rough and tumble style.
Yeah.
So,
were you a child when they never played each other, the East versus the West, during the regular season?
I was very, very young when they phased that out.
Because that was interesting because you saw two different styles of hockey come together once a year. Now, not fun for a fan that follows when you're only playing half the teams, right? It's almost
don't
like,
even know what half the league's doing.
It's like last year, right, where you only played the Western or actually just the Pacific.
We're playing St. Louis for the 8th time.
Right.
Great.
But it is interesting because then when you come out of that and you start playing the other conference, you just see two styles of hockey emerge.
Totally different.
Yeah.
And haven't run up against each other that year, so you get the kind of teams
that
feeling
excitement.
Each other out a little bit.
Yeah,
for sure. Something new and different. I don't think it's worth not playing each other the entire year.
No, I mean, this new format's great.
Agreed.
Now if they just can go to 1 through 16 playoff format.
So you're 1 through 16, not conference 1-8, 1-8?
No.
Full 1-16.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
What's your take on play-in games?
I'm not a fan of playing games.
No?
Just take 1 through 16.
You wouldn't expand it to like 18 or 20 or something.
I mean,
like
what are you
that?
going to do? Are you going to do a series or are you just going to do one game?
No, I mean, you could do either. I would do one game.
Yeah.
I just
Well, it's like the NBA's is kind of like funky, right? Like the higher seed, is it the higher seed?
The 7 plays the 10, and like
But then you have to beat them. Like I don't know.
You
what
get
it
the
is.
losers bracket thing.
It's weird.
I would just say 8-9, play one game, winner gets in to lose the one seed.
Or 15-16.
Sure, winner gets in to
16,
play.
17, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. 17 and 18 can get, doesn't matter. Anyway, let's move on here and have Blais make us some more money on the show, because that's what he does.
Okay, yeah, so careful tonight. This one is risque, let's say.
Oh, okay.
So if you look at the odds here, plus 1,400. If you go on to DraftKings, there is a single game parlay tonight for the NHL. So any of those games. Took 3 legs here. I took Colorado money line under 6.5 goals, and Mac to score the first goal. That's the one
I felt like
bumping it up.
You were making us money on the first 2 legs, and then you set it on fire.
Sure, or just take that, don't do the parlay, and just make those single bets.
There you go. I like that route a little bit better. But, hey, look, if you're feeling Mac first goal, you're feeling it. You got to trust the gut sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
And I believe that's Mac first goal on Colorado. It's not
first goal of the game.
Yeah, it's just who scores first on Colorado. So
tempering your risk a little bit.
A little bit.
I actually need to go bet on this. I didn't put money on it, but I'm feeling a Kale goal tonight.
Like it.
Just throwing it out there. I think he's going to at least push to get to 30. I don't know if he makes it, but I think he'll get close. I like the under bet, given I think the Avs have some dudes out. I think they're going to try and limit the minutes a little bit of their top guns.
I didn't see the lineup. Where's Bo playing? Is he playing that top line?
I haven't checked. I don't know if they'll go with Bo up there or what. We'll see.
Because that's one that was kind of I was thinking about this morning is like if Bo is going to get extended minutes playing on that top line.
He should certainly have the legs.
And he's sounds like he's running that second.
He was on the second PP unit for sure,
which only sees 15 seconds of ice.
I don't know. I played a lot the other night.
That's true.
I do think Bednar is very much in his bag when it comes to trying things right now. He's just kind of sending out whatever. So who knows what we'll see at the end of the day. Maybe Ben Myers will move up the lineup.
That's true.
He's got 1 goal, 1 game so far.
Love it.
Pretty positive numbers.
And that was a great goal, too.
Oh, yeah. Hard working. Got to the right spot. Gets the backhand in.
Backhand elevated, too. It's a good shot.
Like to see it. Anyway, I think we are about 10 minutes away from puck drop, so we're going to wrap this show up. We appreciate all of y'all hanging out with us. We'll be back post-game, joined by AJ Hafley to break down whatever happens in this hockey game. Hopefully a bunch of things that make Blais some money.
Yep.
Until then, we are out of here, and we will talk to you after the game.